Hello guys, welcome back to an episode review of Hollyoaks. For today's episode, Tuesday 1st of April 2025. I watched it in the morning on demand, and I'm recording the review at 6:20 p.m. That's what the time is now. I hope you enjoyed it because it was a terrific episode. Let's discuss Arlo and this whole problem not going away. He's obviously made the accusation that Tony's been hitting him for months. No one is really believing him except Joel and Marie. Here's the funny thing. Joel, even though he's wrong, believing Arlo, I still think from Joe's perspective and Joel's shoes, I think he's doing the right thing because he shared his experience that when he was in the care home, when he was living with his stepdad, he was obviously being beaten up by Marie's ex, Mick. I think there's Arlo's dad and Abe's dad. When he plucked up the courage to speak up, no one believed him. Now, obviously, he's trying to kind of repay that debt to himself with Arlo, though. But except that Arlo's really, truly is a bully. I know he's a very young lad and he's probably about 10 or 12 or 14 years old. Within that age bracket, but I feel like even though Joel is wrong, he's right in the sense that how he's going about it, and he's carrying himself really well. Let me know what you thought. You don't have to agree with me, guys. With Marie, I feel like she's been fooled by one son, and she's spending more time with Arlo than Joel is. Joel has his own life. He's been through a lot. He has his own child, and he has Leela, and he has his own step kid to look after and everything. So, and also he's missed a lot of Arlo's life when he was at the village and they were away. So he's not going to know Arlo as well as Marie would. But the fact that Marie's kind of convincing that her second son is innocent, even though when she knows Abe, her first son, abusive son, was a rapist and he tormented so many people. I just don't know. I feel like Marie should have picked up more slack in Arlo's regard, and I do think that now, because she saw the spray paint in Arlo's backpack, because obviously there was a graffiti sprayed on Tony's restaurant saying child abuser, something like that. She might be more clued on now, because even then, when she was in the restaurant arguing with Arlo and when she was arguing with Tony and Diane and everyone, they're all having a little bit of a debate. Even Diane asked Marie, to question herself, she's been with everyone's known Tony all these years. Does it look like he's a child abuser? But Marie obviously had a good response, saying that they're really good at hiding things, and I think Joel said similar as well. So I think it's going to be a long, tricky road, and I do think the power lies in Marie's hand, if I'm honest, because obviously there's only so much the police can do because they don't know the ins and outs of the two families. They'll do their best to investigate, but Marie, I feel like some sense needs to come to Marie, and maybe there might be a miracle that Marie might pick up on Arlo's behavior, like he's really brilliant at hiding things and fooling everyone. So I do feel like something like that potentially may happen, which is good. We want that, because notice also how Arlo is a bully, but he became a main character. Normally bullies in Soapland or like any movies that you see, they always remain a side character, have some main parts, but they're never a main character. But Arlo has actually successfully, in his young age, as a brilliant actor himself, has managed to level up as a main character, which is extraordinary for a brilliant young actor. So he really makes you hate him. So he's doing his job really well, the actor in real life. And again, I hope he doesn't last anymore. I hope Ro gets his big break and Arlo gets the punishment that he deserves, as the appropriate punishment as a child, what he's done to Ro all these months. And Marie, just again, someone needs to snap their fingers at Marie or click their fingers. Hope she sees sense as well, because I do think the power's going to come from her now, because it needs to come from somewhere, this truth. Tony and Diane can't go around their house and demand some sort of intervention or some sort of investigation. Also, even the likes of Leela and Steve, even they know Tony's innocent, and they know Arlo, if they said it themselves, that Arlo's not to be trusted, which is quite funny because they're all living together. And obviously I think they've seen the example from Abe, and they just know something's not right with Marie's sons, except Joel. So, and yeah, Joel did have a little row with Leela about the fact that she doesn't believe Arlo, and he's only looking out for his brother, and obviously he's using his personal experience to kind of stick up for a child as well. Again, like I said before, I don't think Joel's wrong in trying to protect a child. In this case, obviously he doesn't know what a bully Arlo is, and his real form, and his history with Roe. So so I won't hold Joel responsible. In fact, I think he's been brilliant, Joel has. And which brings me to the point that the fact that he went to the therapist's house, Tommy's house, to pick up the 100 quid that Tommy owes him, because obviously he knocked over his side mirror. I found that scene hilarious when it's just awkward. Joel can sense the awkwardness, but he's just too polite to say anything. And obviously Joel fixed his alarm or smoke detector, and then he took up Tommy's offer on therapy sessions. And Tommy there's something really creepy. I mean, he's a brilliant actor himself as well in real life. Both of them are. And the fact that I feel like I'm beginning to be interested in this storyline, guys. When Tommy first came on the scene, I'm like, oh, great, another just bit of work, quack, trying to get into people's heads and then using that to their advantage. But the thing is, I find Tommy very unique, extremely unique, to pull off something that we haven't seen before. So watch this space, guys. Donnie's doing more detective work. He's on to Rex more. Obviously, the Scottish police officer that Diane's seeing, nobody yet knows that he's the head of the police station, and he's the head of the mafia operation, or this gangster operation that he's got going on with his goons, including Rex and Grace. I hope they got caught. They get caught straight away. Freddy, obviously not the sharpest tool in the toolbox. He's trying his best, trying to find or claim Mercedes' innocence. I just hope that people are looking for Vicky and Freddy now, because it's becoming too long, because they've gone missing. I'm going to end it there, guys. Terrific episode. I feel like a lot's happened. Dylan just needs to move back to Mizpah's. I don't know why Mizpah isn't keeping an eye on Dylan. I feel like Donnie's doing more for Dylan than his own daughter. But Mizpah, I don't know. But maybe she's busy at the hospital. So, because I would have thought Mizpah's very intelligent. She would have picked up and... Wait a minute, how the hell is Dylan paying all this rent? Do you know what I mean? Such a nice luxury house. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode review. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly have. Peace.